And welcome to Rise and Fire Bets. It is Friday night. We are looking into live bets going into the weekend. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter. If you guys don't know, Jock Market, Stock Market, DFS for all sports, especially for golf, absolutely love it. Use my code EBOM1. You see it on the ticker on the bottom, 100% up to $100. Helps your guy out, helps you out get that extra bonus. You have a little bit of a free roll, whether you're buying for $10, $20, you still get that 100% up to $100. So please use that code if you decide to do Jock Market. It is fantastic. Just like this event right now, I'm watching the very end of it. I don't think they're going to finish it right now. It doesn't really look like it. We're going to be fighting about, some, darkness going on right now for the most part. But, the tournament, Max Homa is making a little bit of a charge right now. If you follow my plays on Rise and Fire Bets, then you see that I have Colin Morikawa. He's at -8, so he's in a very good spot. Homa's got some, I was looking to bet Homa live. Unfortunately, he would just start off hot, so I missed that. Jumped on JT, no bueno. But you never know. Maybe he catches fire going through Saturday. We'll see what happens. But let's try and find some winners today. That's the number one thing. If you have any questions, you want to hop in, anything of that nature, come on in. Chat is open. Let's have some fun. Connor, this is off the, I'm just spitting right here for the most part. I was supposed to have a guest this week, unfortunately, got canceled, but that's okay. We're still having the show, and it's a big event. Tiger, look at Tiger Woods, +1 currently in the cut right now. Honestly, been ball striking unbelievable. We can get into that right now. Let's see what Tiger has done for the most part, because I know that's a big thing going on right now with Tiger Woods, and rightfully so. Tiger Woods has been fantastic. That golf data golf, if you will, fantastic, great website. If just to find, it's a good representation of what's been going on in the tournament for the most part. So if you want to see what Tiger Woods has done, he's been absolutely pretty solid. His approach has been good. I mean, his first round was crazy. Like, he was just putting lights out like old Tiger. And that kind of just had him through here. But then, his putter was still off, and he still hung around for the most part. I mean, he was +3. Okay, I get it. But his approach was still decent. And I mean, we always talk about in golf all the time that your approach is king. And he's been pretty solid on approach for this entire go around. I mean, he's been plus, and I think that's big for him. He exerted himself a lot that first round, but you know what? There's a good chance he makes the cut. Maybe he gets some good rest coming in the weekend. Maybe might be able to find something with him going on for that for the most part. So kind of interesting to see for the most part. So I'm going to bring up the DraftKings board here because, we're figuring out bets that we want to bet right now. Homa right now just made a putt to stay at -10. I'm looking right now. Nothing's changed. I'm just looking currently up right now. He is at -10. Yeah, still staying -10. Morikawa still lurking. And it is great that he is lurking because his putter's been real solid on this on these greens right here. This West Coast greens, the Poana greens, the bumpy, undulating kind of stuff. But he's been putting pretty well on them. So we'll see how that goes. The ball striking's been solid. He's been making the big, longer putts. It's been pretty much the 3-footers he's been missing. So it's been pretty wild. So you think, hey, the 3-footers, they're going to be there, but a lot of these guys miss these because the greens are all bumpy and everything that goes along with it. So let's see where we're at right now. John Rahm is officially the leader as far as betting odds for John Rahm, +170, Colin Morikawa +650, Max Homa, who's actually, well, he's tied right now. Oh, actually, excuse me. Geez, I didn't realize Rahm went to -10. Oh my goodness, that came out of nowhere. So that line's going to change extremely fast. He might even be a minus at this point. But yeah, we're going to get into this for the most part. My man over here said, yeah, Lowry 55-1 and 35-1. So hey, let's look at that. Let's see what we're getting ourselves into here. And he says 5 back, some good value there. I totally agree. I mean, you have a whole weekend of bets. I was within probably 4 shots with Justin Thomas when I took him 33-1. So the fact that you got Scheffler at 35-1, who I think is obviously a better golfer than JT, I think that's fantastic. And Lowry, I mean, The weirdest thing, he just played so bad recently, and the sports books just completely offset him left and right. And he's a guy that plays well in these tough courses, and he came out to play. And if you played him on DraftKings, that was huge. So, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't play him, which was bad on my part, but he's playing well. He might be getting to good form now. That was a good buy low on Shane Lowry. So currently his odds right now. Let me see where he is at on the board. Is he also 5 back? So he is currently 6 back. But honestly, I don't hate it. I mean, this has been a tough course for a lot of guys. This has been pretty difficult. So I think he can kind of contend with it. And for that value, 55 to 1, why not take a shot? I mean, you already saw the data that that's the thing I loved about live betting, because when you're looking to bet these guys pre-flop, and what I mean by pre-flop is that, like, before we tee off and everything, I mean, you're getting odds at some of these guys that the big question marks, but then you might get good opportunities. Like my man over here got 55 to 1 for Lowry, which is awesome. And to be honest, I saw Zalatoris play pretty well, and he kind of surprised me for the most part. But I took him at 50 to 1 at one point. And even if I lose that, I still feel like that was good value to them, because he is a guy that plays good on long, hard courses. We just knew he missed, the waste management last week, and it was, big question mark. And that was a big question mark for me. But once I was able to get good value on the back end, I'm more than happy to take it. So either way, absolutely love it. I'm right there with you, no doubt. 55 to 1, I'm all good with that. But hey, let's look at some current bets right now. Kuchar's starting to cash in a little bit over here with some good play towards the end. He's now officially -1 par all day. The showdown lineups have been pretty solid. I'll see how we get into that for the most part. But if I'm looking at what odds we're looking at for a golfer right now that we can kind of play, I know he talked about 35 to 1. I think that's pretty good there. I hate to say it. I think Cantlay might be a good play live here. Let me see what Cantlay is at right now. He's at -6, so he's 4 back, 10 to 1, currently at. Oh, he dropped down as soon as I said something. He dropped down from 10 to 9 to 1. But I mean, he's a guy that can play really well. And then he probably crushed his tee shot. I'm looking at it right now. I'm probably behind because I got YouTube TV, and that's just how it goes over here. The only bad part is because we're on the West Coast swing, we can't get some live matchups next week when we have the Honda Classic. It'll be done. We'll get tons of matchups. So we're on the fly once again. It's the same thing with the Hawaii deal, with all the West Coast deal. I can't wait till we get back on the East Coast. And, it's such a shame that the PGA Tour, gave up on the Northeast this year. I know they're going to like Rochester, but that's like practically Canada up there. That's like so high up there. So, I mean, it's just a shame that we're not going to get a tournament right in my neck of the woods. I went to the BMW Championship, crushing around. It was absolutely awesome. Great venue, live bet Patrick Cantlay. That was good. I think I got him around like 3 to 1 or so, or maybe like 2.5. I forget. It was going in the Sunday, so I ended up taking him. But I still feel like this is Colin Morikawa's tournament to win. And I know Rahm's really tough, and I know Homa's good too, but Colin Morikawa, I mean, his putting's been really solid. Let's see what he's been doing today, because I think the fact that his putting was just solid, and maybe it looked better than what I saw on TV for the most part. But I mean, what I saw from him he was missing. See, I think the thing with him is he was missing a lot of 3-foot putts, but he was making a lot of 12-foot putts. If he can get that situated, I absolutely love it. So let's look at the live data, right? So we got Colin Morikawa on round 2. He's a little bit better than average putter, which I'm still kind of shocked about. But I mean, it's because he missed those easy putts. He made huge putts. If he would have made those little easy putts, he probably would have been +2, probably. So, I don't think that's something that's always going to happen. And then his approach is around the green game. Everyone bashes that constantly. Look at it. Over 3 strokes around the green. Absolutely fantastic. Tee to green was great. Off the tee, that got kind of skewed because he tried to go for that left fairway on that one hole and then hit like the dead middle. And I think that kind of messed everything up. I think you have to realize what strokes gained off the tee this week is that guys are going to try to cut corners a lot. So I think being really good on strokes gained off the tee isn't necessarily like a be all end all, if you will. But I think it's, something you can kind of push off to the side for this week because the guys are getting a little creative off the tee, and it's not like they get killed off the tee because of it. So I think that's a good spot there. But Colin Morikawa, the putter's been good. Let's see what he did over in the first round here. First round, he was almost 2 strokes game putting. I mean, the guy's been locked in on approach, and I think that's important. As long as you can make those close 3-foot putts, that'll be big. All right, now I got Kuchar here. I have him for my showdown lineup. He's trying to make a putt here, and it looks like he's going to be a little short. Oh, man, a little short on that birdie over there. That man hates losing money. No one hates losing money more than Matt Kuchar. So that's pretty much just going down. But if you guys have any questions, comments, be more than happy to jump in. I would love to hear them for the most part. All right, so let's see here. So if we have any kind of matchups, let's go to top 20. Let's go to top 20. Let's flip the script here because, we're so limited with what we have here this week. And Tom Kim, man, a guy I'm watching right on the screen. We know he's so much talent with him, but unfortunately, these big fields are tough, man. Maybe he's not ready for that moment yet. I kind of felt like he was, but maybe winning the Wyndham, just things like that was, isn't, it's a nice jump to his career, but he's not who we think he is yet. Maybe he needs a year or two under his belt before he becomes one of the elites. So let's look at the top 20 over here. Let me bring that up right here. So we're looking at top 20. Hey, minus 8,000. That looks like fun. You want to bet minus 8,000? No one does. So we're going to just jump past that. All right. So one guy I was looking at, I'm curious where he's at. All right. His line did move a little bit. I kind of like Gary Woodland over here. He's currently minus 105. Let's look at what he's done over here. Beautiful. Now I'm figuring this out over here. I can share tab. It's beautiful. Let's get to Gary Woodland, a guy that's been notoriously a horrible putter on these surfaces. Let's see what he's done. So he's actually been a plus as far as putting goes at this course. And like his history shows, he's been a terrible, terrible putter. And I think the fact that he's even a plus for the week, I absolutely love him for top 20. We'll see how everything plays out. Today, he had a big putting week. His approach game was strong. Really, the only thing he lost a little bit on was around the green. Gary Woodland's game's been on point. I don't know if it's a Cobra change or anything like that, but I really like Gary Woodland to be top 20. You might be able to wait a little bit. Right now, Gary Woodland's currently minus 105 on DraftKings at this point. Remember, you always shop around, right? The one sport, golf, the odds are so much different everywhere. Please shop around. Believe me, I'm not affiliated with DraftKings by any means necessary. If I was, I would be more than happy to say, hey, use this book, but I'm not, I have no loyalty. You can go on Bet365, who's a fantastic sports book if you have them, or, Barstool or FanDuel, MGM, all of them. Check them out. I like Gary Woodland. You probably can get plus money on him for top 20. I'm going to probably be dialing that in. I think he's been playing fantastic. And the putter's actually kind of showed up. And I think top 20 should be easy for him here. He is currently, let's see what he currently is right now. Let's get to the board. Gary Woodland, let's find him. Let's find Gary Woodland, right? Gary Woodland currently T9 right now. T9. If you're looking at what's going to get you to T20, he's down 3 strokes. I really don't feel like he's going to lose that many strokes. Do I think he's going to win? No, I don't think he's going to win. But I feel like a top 20 is the right play here. I mean, you're just getting value on a guy that everyone, you're going to get early on him. And especially with the course history, he isn't all that great with it, but he's kind of, went against the grain, if you will. I mean, look what he's done. I'm going to bring it back to you over here. I mean, look, he was over almost 1.5 strokes game putting today. But you know what's consistent? The approach game. Plus over 3.5, over 2, almost 2.5 strokes game tee to green. I mean, you're just he's just doing everything right. And he might be losing a little bit with the putter, but he figured out something second round. I think that's something important to figure out. Like he figured out maybe something with the putter today, and maybe that he can bring that to the weekend. I think his ball strike has been fantastic. I don't think that's changing for the rest of the weekend. I don't think this is a flaw of his. I don't think this is an outlier. I guess that's the best way of putting it. But I really like him T20. Shop around. Currently, DraftKings has him at minus 105. I don't hate it, honestly, because he's T9 anyway. And I think if you're almost getting even money on him, but you know what, you might be able to get some plus money with him. So shop around. Another guy that I might look at for T20. Let's see what we're looking at. I think it's interesting. Justin Thomas is plus 130 for top 20. I'm curious. Let's see where Justin Thomas is at. Justin Thomas currently, all right. So Justin Thomas. All right, let's share this over here. Let's see what we see here with Justin Thomas, because he's a very popular guy, right? So let's see if we can get, maybe there's a good opportunity for plus money here. Round one, putted pretty great, -3, had a great showing. Today, he couldn't hit his approach shots. Do you think that's gonna happen with Justin Thomas? Probably not. He's probably gonna hit a lot better. The week actually, he's been both minuses on both weeks. Maybe he hasn't adjusted to how firm these greens are. I think they are kind of like concrete, so maybe this isn't for him. So I'm going to back off of him for top 20, unfortunately, because I did take him live at 33 to 1. That ticket's probably dead, but that's okay. There's a lot of dead tickets out there. If you look at the board, let's look at what we got here. All right. So guys that we bet probably are, the betting community bet for the most part. I know Spieth, probably popular. He's +2. See you later. It's been real. Montgomery, the luck box of all putters. See you later. It's been real. That's out of here. Matsuyama, been very touted this week as a guy, that's around the green wizard. He's going to be gone. See you later. Schauffele, talk about a guy. He's on his 13th hole, +5. I mean, he could make the cut, but it's just, man, it is disastrous for him today. But everything else, I mean, Burns, geez, I don't even want to get into Burns. He was absolutely horrible. So what he got, he was like +1,000, and now he's +1. So he got a couple birdies. Good for him. That's nice for his missed cut. I appreciate that. Absolutely horrible. But off to the side anyway. I'm highlighting right now Cam Davis. I cannot believe how bad Cam Davis has been. I mean, Andy Lack, and he always talked about, he had the stats to do well, always good on short courses. There's something going on with him. So I would stay far away from him for the most part. Billy Horschel going to Florida, maybe you get some value with him. I mean, -4 strokes putting. That's a lot. He's a guy that we might have to look at early for Honda next week. A guy that plays fantastic in Florida and clearly is good around the green, been decent on approach. Let me see. Are we on first or second? Oh, no, we're on second round. Okay, let me see what Horschel has done, because I want to touch up on everything that, we can look at here. So Horschel losing 2.5 strokes putting. Obviously, Poana greens, these bumpy greens. He's a Florida guy. This is not his course, right? You see it, +6. His around the green game's been decent. His approach game hasn't been good because he's not receptive to these greens. This is a great wash week for him. And I'll be honest with you. Here, let me get out of here. I'll be honest with you. Next week for the Honda, geez, we might be able to actually get really good value with Billy Horschel in the outright market. I'm not saying he is going to win, but there is a very good chance he might compete, or even a top 20. Geez, a top 20. This market is going to be terrible next week. I mean, you got Sunjay, you got I like Harris English. He looked pretty good. I mean, he might be a guy that's been rounding into form. Shane Lowry's going to be there. That's going to be decent. But I mean, Billy Horschel, a guy that's not playing well right now, public perceptive with the actual, going back to Florida. I mean, I'll be curious to see what his number is. If we can get him around like a 18 to 20 to 1, I'm all on board with Billy Ho next week, because he loves playing Florida. That Florida Gator loves to play there. But we are talking about today. Of course, I just trying to give you some perception of what I'm looking at for the following week as well. Remember, guys, I love to hear you guys tune in and give me your questions. Hey, you want to jump on the screen? I might throw you on the screen. Who knows? Just ask me. I might just throw you on here with me. I'll give you the link. You can jump on here with me. We can talk. No big deal. So I'm looking currently at the board right now. I'm looking at the T20 market because we're still, in the tournament. There's still daylight. It's LA, California, Gary Woodland. I'm still looking in that spot. So I like him there. Let's see what the outright market is once again, because that's something we have to look at, right? So Patrick Cantlay, 11-1, looking pretty good. So if we're looking at what Cantlay is doing right now, currently -7, he's moving up. He might have just got a birdie on, let's see. He got a birdie on 17, so he is lurking. So if I am taking somebody at this moment in time, you're watching the show, I would take him right now at 11-1 personally. But I've Colin Morikawa. I'm not taking anyone live tonight. I took my live bets for outright in general. So I took them late for Zalatoris and JT. There might be some chances there towards the weekend, but this is about tonight's show. So T20 is really what we're looking at. And I still feel like Woodland is my guy. So if I'm taking something for the entire week, I'm taking Gary Woodland. That is my favorite bet by far. Gary Woodland currently at -105 on DraftKings. Once again, I urge you to shop around. Very important. But if I'm looking at another guy you want to take a chance at, let's see. I am kind of looking at. All right, let me see what the board is. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I just closed out of there. Don't mind me. Let me see. We're live. We're doing this. So let's see. So let's share a tab. Let's see where we're at currently on the T20 market, right? So T20 market as of the moment right now. Jonathan Vegas. We got Harris English. Had a really bad day today, and Sahith Theegala. Those are three guys that I'm currently looking at, right? So Tom Hoge is intriguing, right? So he's intriguing. Let me see where Sanjay's at. Sanjay, he's got to be higher up probably because he's a really popular name. Yeah, he's -200. He's not worth the risk of everything that goes along with that. So guys that I'm personally at, besides Gary Woodland for T20, we're going to look at Harris English, Vegas, and Theegala. So let's see what those current odds are right now. So let's see. Theegala +120, Jonathan Vegas 175, and who was the other one I was looking at here? Harris English. So let's see where Harris English is at. Man, do I not even see him right now? Is he really dropped? Oh my gosh, +250, and he was 260 +250 now. So let's look at Harris English, right? Because I think this is a guy that we're gonna have to look at because I think we might actually be able to get good value on him. So the event in general been pretty solid putting, about 1.5 strokes game putting. Home is up 1 against Rahm right now. He just dropped 1 at the end. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so he's been plus on approach. Strokes gained off the tee, not concerned about. Around the green's been average. He's been decent, right? So his first round, he was blazing. About 2 strokes gained putting, almost 3 strokes gained approach. Been pretty solid besides that. I mean, yeah, really great first round. Played fantastic, right? So the second round, pretty average. Approach game was a little worse than average. Putting was a little better than average around the green. What killed him was off the tee. I'm not concerned about that. I don't think off the tee is important at all this week. So I think this is a good value that we can get that the books might not be able to realize that off the tee really doesn't matter this week, which matters a lot every week. So I'm all on board with that as well. Harris English +250, probably going to play that too. I like Woodland, Harris English. Let's see what Theegala is doing. You know what? Let's see what he's been about this week. So this week, fantastic on approach. We love to see that. Off the tee, a little lost, but you know what? He's the guy that's not really that great off the tee. For him being that less off the tee, I think he's actually been pretty good. Around the green, pretty solid. Putting's been decent. This is another guy that, oh, that's for second round. I apologize. Let's look for the entire round. Excuse me. A little better putter. Approach has been great. Off the tee, big mess. But around the green's been good. This is also another good situation. So this round, first round, he was even. This round, he's -3. And because he was -3 was because of the approach game. The approach game was fantastic. He went from 1.65 3.17. I mean, that is a huge jump. Will we get that the entire weekend? I don't know. We have to look at win draws, things like that. If you're feeling frog, you want to leave, take the gala, but that's not one of my main plays. That's not what I'm gonna lock in this weekend. I'm locking in Woodland. I love Woodland in the spot, and I like Harris English. I think Harris English is your best bang for your buck this week. So if I'm showing you what we're at right now, Harris English was plus 260. He just dropped down to 250. Really like that. And then, of course, I love Gary Woodland. I think it's a good spot. He's already can spot a couple strokes. He's been playing way too well. I'm definitely rising and fire on that. It's still at -105 on DraftKings. Once again, shop around. But let's look at Johnny Vegas, because I think he is somebody that we might have to consider because he's had the distance, and then distance does help off the tee, and that's one thing. You might not be hitting fairways, but if you're hitting it far enough and you can hit how this Kikuya rough everyone talks about, then you're fine. It doesn't really matter if you hit the fairway. You can just spray it off. It does not matter. So let's look at Johnny Vegas. Let's see what Vegas has done, because I think this is important. This is the last guy that I want to look at here. So the event, all right, great on approach. He's been good. He's plus a little over half, which is, I think, is really good this week anyway, because he's a guy that gains a lot off the tee in general because he gains so much distance, right? So if he hits the fairway, he's usually pretty good. So I think that's really good spot. I don't even know what's going on. Xander. Oh my gosh, he hit an eagle. Oh my gosh, Xander just hit an eagle from like distance on 17. So now he will make the cut now. That is so crazy. How lucky can you be? I'm just like looking right here. Let me see. He dunked it. He literally dunked the ball. The X-Man dunked it. It didn't even, you didn't have to worry about the green. He just dropped it in the cup. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, that's the luckiest shot I think I've ever seen. That's probably from what, like 170, just dropping it in the cup. I mean, he had to go for it, right? Because he has to make the cut. Just dropped in. Absolutely incredible. Not talking about, betting Xander all, because that's such a crazy shot. Excuse me. So we're looking at Johnny Vegas. This is what I want to look at here. For the event, great with the approach. The off the tee, slightly better. The putter, not too bad. I mean, his numbers overall have not been terrible. So the first week, wow, look at these numbers. I mean, he's a first round monster anyway. So these numbers, taken for what they are, but he is a really good first round player. Johnny Vegas always has been. If you watched him, he's always been a good first round player. The putter was a little even. Approach was great. Around the green was fantastic, which you have to be great around the green here, because these greens are like concrete. You're not going to be able to get onto the green with these approach shots. And his off the tee was okay. So let's see what he did when he was +1. I think this is important. So he lost a lot, right? So he lost almost 2 strokes putting. And then, he was pretty much even. Think we can get to the even putter? I think we can. I don't think that's a problem. His approach game has not changed. It actually improved last week. So I like that factor as well. I think this is another guy that I'm going to look at. Off the tee has been positive, and I, take it for what it is. I don't think it's an important stat, but I think around the green was great. Today it wasn't as much, and I don't know what wave he was on for the most part, but he was only +1 today for how bad he was on the greens. Okay, he's on the card. I think we're gonna play Johnny Vegas. I think the injury questions are out the window. I think he's gonna play fine. I don't think there's gonna be really that much pressure from him to play well. I mean, you look at where he's at right now. So let's Let's look where Mr. Vegas is at. So Vegas is currently at T21, right? He was plus one today. There's zero pressure of him winning this tournament. He can easily go low here. So I personally, if you're going to play three guys, it goes in this order. It goes Gary Woodland. It goes it's so hard because I'm thinking because like Harris English and John in Vegas, I think like they're very like 1A, 1B. So you can kind of flip flop those guys. So I'm taking Woodland no matter what, because I think Woodland, I think his ball striking's been incredible. And I think he could get a decent enough putter. And he literally has to lose. He's spotting the field 2 strokes right now for how well he's striking the ball. And he's a name that hasn't really played that well. If he was like a name like Hoagie or one of those guys, let's see like what their odds are, right? The guy like Sun JM minus 200. He's a big name. He's a popular name. Woodland's not there yet. I mean, yeah, he's a popular name, but I mean, he hasn't had the results that Sanjay M has had. So we're buying low on him while we have seen him progressed in the right way. And I think that's extremely important. So it goes Woodland and then honestly goes 1A, 1B with Vegas and English. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys cash in. I personally don't see an outright I really like this much. If I had to take something for the value, I would take Cantlay plus 11 to 1, because he is currently at -7. So I would personally take Cantlay. If you're late to the game and you want to get some value on a really good golfer that has an opportunity to, win, I'm taking Cantlay. If you're brand new to everything, I still think Colin Mork has more of a chance to win this. Home is scary on the West Coast, and then you have Rahm, who's an absolute monster, but he's missed a lot of shots. So I don't know if he's going to be able to hold his own for this weekend. I mean, I get it. He's one of the best players in the world, but Homa is awesome on the West Coast. I'm so glad I picked him up 50 to 1 for the US Open being in LA Country Club. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm so happy to have that because the guy plays incredible. So if I had to take something right now, I would take Cantlay 11 to 1 if I did not have a horse in the race at this point. And then once again, T20. I'm talking about it again. We got Gary Woodland minus 105 on DraftKings. Shop around, but I love him here. He's my number one top 20 play. If you're looking for two other guys that you want to sprinkle with for the most part, you're feeling froggy, you want to leave, Jonathan Vegas plus 175, and we got Harris English at plus 260, back up to 260. Thank you again, guys. Remember, Jock Market. If you love DFS, you will love Jock Market. It is DFS stock market. It is great. You don't lose all your money in one shot, which is the best part. Use my code. You get up to 100%, up to $100. My code is EBOMB1. You see it on the ticker on the bottom, capital EBOMB1, 100%. It helps me out. It helps you out. It gives you a couple bullets where you can take some chances on some low-end guys and make some big money. So thank you guys again. Let's rise and fire next week at the Honda. Gonna have a guest on next week. I'm in the works of it. Today was kind of crazy, but I think we found some winners. Thanks again, guys. Let's do this. Let's rise and fire. Let's cash in this weekend. Let's